Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. I hope you can hear me well. I'm outside and there's a lot of lawn mowing going on around here, but in today's video we wanted to shoot some 12 and 10 gauge turkey loads at multiple different ranges, but we only got to the 12 and I think 3 of the 10 gauge loads, but you'll see why. I guess I'll leave it at that and just roll on with the footage. Table's kind of a mess right now, but we'll clean it up. I have my, it's right here, 23-inch barrel 10 gauge Indian Creek 690 choke in it. That was given to me by Zach. The barrel was sent by Jim. Frame it's on is my 36-inch barrel 10 gauge, which is also the same frame we use for the Ultra Slug 12 gauge. For the 12 gauge, we're using the good old standby Mossberg 835. We've got the True Glow 670 in it,
which we might swap out for Kick 680, honestly.
Might use them both today, actually. That 670 throws buckshot really well, but I think for, you know, wedge shot, the 680 has it.
It's a little dirty.
Yeah. Kicks GT 680. That is, I tell you what, that's one of the best chokes for the 835 ever made.
Kind of like a Swiss Army knife, it does all.
It really does. That thing, it shoots everything great.
The one that gets used the least, the modified choke.
Yep, that was sent to us by, I can't remember his name.
I know Kick sent us one of them.
Kick sent us the...
I think that's for the 10.
Yeah, 695 GT and 10 gauge. All right, we have the 680 in it. Let's start with this gun. Why not?
Yeah.
You up first or me?
I will be. I gotta find my hearing protection, so I don't like my ears ringing, but...
I got some in my pocket.
Here's another variant of a duplex that he cooked up. This one has 38 grains of IMR blue. Not IMR blue. 38 grains of blue dot, excuse me. I think it's got an X12X with a 1/2-inch fiber cushion wad. And it's got 7.5 shot on the bottom this time with Mylar wrap. Then it's a piece of fiber cushion wad and copper plated number 4s on top. We're running it through the Mossberg 835 with the Kicks GT 680 choke. We're at roughly right on 30 yards. Make sure behind the board's clear. Alrighty, let's see what happens. That seemed to be pretty solid. Yeah. Hull looks great.
Yeah. There we go, now it's focused on it.
Duplex. Let's see how it did. I don't think it matters how you stack him in them shells. That is ridiculous.
That is a really good pattern.
That's a duplex conventionally loaded. It shouldn't do that well.
At 30 yards, that's better than a lot of off-the-shelf stuff.
Yeah.
So this one is a 2 7/8-inch 12 gauge, not 10 gauge, but I had a 3.5-inch dot haul that I had to cut down. This is, let's see, 26 grains of long shot, TPS White Lightning, a Mylar wrap, 1/8 inch of fiber cushion wad, 1 5/8 ounce of copper plated number 4s, and mixed number 47 buffer. I'll shoot this one at 40. Sitting in this chair is 42 yards, so I'm gonna stand right here. That should be 40. Mossberg 835, Kicks 680 GT. See what this does at 40. The hull looks absolutely perfect. No Mossberg marks or nothing. Beautiful.
Let's go see how it done.
Before I talk about the pattern, if you're loading this one, just do it in a 3-inch shell. 2 7/8 inch wasn't by, you know, choice or whatever. You guys know what I mean. But the pattern's pretty good. Looks like we have probably, I want to say 18 inches both up and down. It's pretty uniform. Do have a little bit of a void right here, But otherwise, it looks great. The density isn't so good because it's number 4 shot, but it's a pretty good pattern. Definitely will take a turkey.
Right. Up next, we have 35 grains of Blue Dot, TPS 4-pedal half cut with an 1/8 inch fiber cushion wad, Mylar wrap, and 2 ounces of copper plated number 4 with ITX buffer. New primed Shadot hull, 3.5. Anyways, still using the 835 of the Kicks GT 680. We're at roughly 42 yards. That last load we done patterned so well, we figured might as well step it back. So I guess let's see what happens. It looks like behind the board is clear. Alrighty. I think heavy. Hull looks great.
Perfect.
Let's see how it patterned. Well, alrighty guys, I know that thing patterns low, but I forget about it every time. But you don't pattern real low. I was holding right here and, you know, concentration went right here. But at 40 yards for what that was, number 4 shot, density's even pretty good on it. It is a little more flared out up at the top, you know, and you can tell it's starting to open up pretty good. I don't know how well it do past this, but I don't know. I like it personally, I guess.
It'd get the job done at 40 for sure.
Yep.
I think there was something in that monster. I'm seeing a green groundhog over there. Mutant or something. It's still standing. It mutated into a super groundhog.
Wow.
Poop.
I can't believe the 10 gauge didn't knock that little groundhog over.
Oh, it popped back up.
Oh.
Alrighty guys, in all seriousness, 3.5 inch Shadot hull here. This one's olive. 34 grains of Blue Dot, TPS, 4-pedal, half cut, 1/8 inch of fiber cushion, a Mylar wrap, 1 1/16 ounces of copper plated number 6, and then on top of that, 1 1/16 ounce of copper plated number 4 and ITX buffer. Altogether, it's a 2 1/8 ounce load. Shoot this one at 42 yards. And the hull looks absolutely beautiful again. No issues. Tell you what, that's a really good one. Nice and uniform. That the 6s really helped that number 4 shot fill out with the density. I'm going to measure that one because we feel like it's worthy of it. We have 20 inches by, let's see, I'm not going to measure the flyers, but we got 20 by 22, 23. That's pretty good for 42 yards. I was aiming right here. Actually, no, I was aiming right here because the gun pattern's a little bit low. But the shot is pretty much dead center. A little bit left right here, but that's still, I mean, that's a great load. I forgot to mention, the last shot I just took was with the 670 TruGlo. Going back to the 680 now.
This is like a standard for our testing, I guess. While we're standing here and I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and read load off. I believe this is the first time we fired this combination of components on camera anyway, so we're gonna go up here 25 yards. Use the 680 Kicks GT, but the load is 26 grains of long shot with a TPS White Lightning, Mylar wrap, 1 1/8 fiber cushion wad with 1 3/4 ounces of copper plated number 4s, mixed number 47 buffer, fold crimp with nail polish to keep it sealed. I guess let's walk up here to, I've got it roughly marked out anyways, 25, 30 yards. There's about 30 roughly-ish. So, I think got about here. Close enough anyways. Wait for my doggo to get out of range. Oliver! Alrighty guys, let's see how it does. I moved over this way because I kind of lost him in the brush over this way, so we're aiming over this way now. Let's see what happens. Didn't hear no yelping. That's a good start. Of course, if it was clean, you probably wouldn't.
That's morbid.
Humane.
Mossberg marks, but that's not pressure signs. That's just the gun. Which actually, we'll show you here.
Yeah.
Large firing pin hole. That's why they get primer flow back.
Alrighty guys, excuse this over here. You can see where we put this paper over the last pattern. That is not part of this. This, as you can see, it's uniformly tapers around in a circle. I'm going to say that's, we'll see with the tape measure, but I'm going to guess that might be 10 inches from there to there, maybe 12.
Excluding this little patch down here, I'm going to say that's a 10 by 10 circle.
All right, where'd the tape measure go?
Who only knows? I didn't carry it back down there, did I?
Yep, you did.
Oh well.
I got it in my pocket somehow.
Well.
Anyways. That's a pretty good guess on that first. Yeah, I'm going from here. I ain't worried about them flyers. You can see a consistent ring of shot. To right here at the bottom of that little group anyways is, I don't know, roughly 13. And then from there to where I call the main part of the pattern there is 10.5. Well, you know.
Hey, that's my shoe size.
If you go from, we'll even go from over here. We'll be a little generous. That looks like it might be part of the outside ring. About 12 inches.
That's about your shoe size.
12 and a half. I think that is ridiculous. I don't see it opening up too god-awful much as we go back, but we'll definitely load it again and try it again.
It's the size of my boot. Alrighty guys, on to the 10 gauge segment of this. Brand new, no, this is a once fired Shadot Hall. Federal 209A primer. 39 grains of Blue Dot, TPS 4 pedal, 3/4 cut. Mylar wrap, 1/4 inch of fiber cushion wad. 2 1/4 ounces of copper plated number 4 and original buffer. Really nice looking fold crimp on it. Now these Shadot Halls do not agree with the single shots. The spring in this gun is really weak and the brass on this is pretty thin. So 9 times out of 10 the Shadot Halls get stuck in this gun. So I have a cleaning rod here to eject it just in case I need it.
We're at 30 yards.
Yep, 30 yards. Indian Creek 690. I cannot see the pattern, and it did get stuck. Well, that didn't work. This is now twice fired, but the hull looks great. The primer is slightly kicked out because of the rod, but it looks great. Nice clean powder burn. Well guys, I shot a little bit high. Could have been me, could have been the gun. It does have a custom, front sight bead and 2 screws for the rear sight bead. But I tell you what, that pattern at 30 yards is wicked. I'll measure it in just a second, but look at the density. That is number 4 shot, and it is beautiful. I'm gonna guess that's 15 by 15. What do you say, Josh?
10 by 16.
Okay. We have 12 by, I'll be generous and give it, outside ring of the pattern, 15. 12 by 15. That's a good one.
Yeah. You can see where it's just tore holes and flying in little clumps like that.
Sure did. Right here and right here. Did I tell you what? I think Josh can aim right down here with this next load.
Yeah. Alrighty guys, my turn. This one's a buck and ball load. It is 37 grains of long shot, 70 thousandths nitro card, BP 1044 wad with a Mylar wrap, 6 pellets, 31 cal single lot, mix number 47 buffer, a 690 round ball, and mix number 47, mix number 47, roll crimp. Let's see what happens for 30 yards.
Sorry about the wind. It came out.
I put my hand over it, but that would have kicked it out. Nice mild recoil.
Looks great.
Well, alrighty guys, I was aiming right here, trying to stay out of this up here because I don't know quite where it goes. It hit a little right, but that's okay. We got the 690, which is, you know, 4 or 5 inches off point of aim, but that's minuscule. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th one up here. Those ones right there would be devastating. That combo, I ain't even so upset that these ones are out here. That's just if I miss real bad, that might catch it in the dome or something.
Right.
Pretty good for 30 yards though. That's a big old hole.
690 ball, 690 choke. We still ain't got to patch the paper.
Nope.
Dang wind. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Well, guys, I hate to say this, but Tyler's first 10 gauge just died on us. And it's not from any catastrophic failures. He's got a stress crack right there, right on the breech face. And this thing usually lives with a 36-inch 10 gauge barrel on it. So that's a lot of weight. And over the last 4 or 5 years of it being hinged open, and because I know I'd say we've used it a lot more than anybody else that ever owned this poor thing. It's finally cracked on this side. You can see the gap on the breech face. If we bring it on over though, this is the side part. Well, not really, I guess it's all side, but that side over there, there's a stress fracture running down. You can see as well. But there's a gunsmith close to us in a neighboring town. We'll take it to him and see, and if he can get it fixed, this thing will probably live the rest of its life shooting black powder loads or white loads. Sad day for this old workhorse. We've shot it a lot.
I've seen this happen before. Josh is right. The big heavy barrel constantly being opened like this, hinged open, it just wore it out. We've put, I don't know, several, I'd say thousands of rounds through this at this point. And it's
well,
just had it.
This is a 10 gauge. It's every round we've ever shot, every video you've ever seen with the Ultra Slug, the 12 gauge, that has been this receiver. The screw in choked, that is this receiver.
23 inch. And
this receiver here is a workhorse.
It's 4 of our, you know, main guns.
Yeah. This is one of the ones that started the channel, really.
I don't know what to do about, you know, a slug gun anymore.
We'll figure it out, guys.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess this is a good time to mention, if y'all want to check out our Patreon, this would be a good time to do it.
Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it?
Yep. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, happy trails. Not so much here on this compound.
So that was pretty unfortunate to have happen. You know, if you guys noticed at the beginning of the video when I was talking about the guns and stuff, I zoomed in on the 10 gauge frame, and I believe the quote I used was some very sad foreshadowing. I didn't notice the cracks. They had already formed in the receiver before we started shooting the 10 today. Now, if I had noticed them, we obviously wouldn't have shot the gun. But I will say, I got that gun about 4 years ago, the 36-inch barrel 10, and when I got it, the gun locked up like new. It had no wobble, no gap, no nothing. Well, about a year ago, a little bit before we started filming, you know, YouTube videos, we noticed a gap starting to form at the breech face, just a little one, and over time it worsened up. So my solution to that was about 3 months ago, I bought a roll of copper tape, copper shim tape from eBay, and I wrapped that around the pin that, you know, the barrel pivots open on. There's a name for it. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, copper tape around that, and it fixed the issue. The gun locked up new again. Now, I have heard about single-shot shotguns, older ones anyway. When you crack the barrel open really hard, like we do sometimes, it puts stress on the soft iron, you know, frames of them, which is what happened to us, at least we think. It makes sense to me. The gap forming over time, getting worse over time, it seems to be a side effect of, you know, whipping that barrel open, letting it just fall free, especially that big, heavy 10-gauge barrel. I think it weighs like 10 pounds, minus the receiver. Receiver and all, the gun weighs 12.4 pounds, so big, heavy barrel. And yeah, just constantly letting that barrel fall open like that, it just puts so much strain on that receiver. I didn't think that we'd ever run into that issue, but, you know, here we are. From what I understand, single shot shotguns, cheaper ones, especially older ones, are not, you know, looked at with high regard among trap shooters that shoot high volume, because, as you guys probably know, high volume shooting, you're cracking that barrel open constantly to reload and stuff. Especially under speed, you're doing it quick, letting that barrel just fly down. They have experience with this issue, at least from what I was reading and have heard before. If any of you guys have had this happen to you, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to know about it. And also, if anybody knows if this can be fixed or can fix it, let us know. And, well, we just want the gun fixed. It's, like we said, 3 of our guns. As of right now, I have no idea what we're going to do about the Ultra Slug or the 2 10-gauge barrels, but luckily Jaron has a Maverick 88, and we do have a barrel that Mr. Hollow Point sent us. It's a rifle barrel for that gun, and Josh already has a scope on it, so we're not down a 12-gauge slug gun. And we still have my Browning BPS and the other 10-gauge single shot with the rifle sights. It's a slug gun too, not rifle, of course. I wish it was. But yeah, anyway, we're not down a 12-gauge slug gun or a 10-gauge, thankfully. But anyway, guys, I guess I'll end it here. You guys take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.